one. Is there any song Borrow Fly High? Please let me know if there like that such song so that even I will prepare. No, right? It's just borrow the big boss, fill up the frank. So you have to borrow 10, fill 3. Understood? Ma'am, what's the question 562? Yes, 562. Okay. So now, Rohita, what is the answer? 208. Now again, let's say, no, right? It's just borrow the big boss, fill up the frank. And let's say, okay. Yeah. Avish, can you please read out your answer? Okay, continue. Continue. It's wrong actually from there. Don't erase. Just cut
Okay,
and write the
officer.
correct answer. You're wasting time and sitting and erasing there. Just cut the answer. Write the correct answer. Yeah. Abish, can you please read out your answers? 276. 2.
Yeah, hello all. Good evening. So, how many of you have gone through week 9 content? Yeah, hello. Am I audible or not? Can anyone please tell whether I am audible or not?
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah, okay. So, how many of you have watched week 9 lectures? Are there any doubts?
This session is for week 9, ma'am.
Week 8 not done?
No, week 8 is done, I think. Yeah, but I'm
Ye-
not sure that this session is for week 8 or 9. That's why I
Yeah, just let me confirm, okay? Just let-
yeah.
Yeah. So from week 8 or week 9, you can ask. Okay, it's okay. Anything. Week 8 or week 9. Yeah, actually for week 8, two sessions are already happened, no? Monday and Friday session. Saturday, Friday and Saturday.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Lecture 8.5. What is 8.5, Deepti? Yeah, could you please tell what is the doubt in week 8.5? Just
Hello.
so side effects of list and procedure. That one. Any problem? Doubt in any sum? Or just you want the side effects? What are the side effects? That thing?
Ma'am, am
Excuse me,
I
ma'am.
audible to
Actually,
you?
I have the
Hello.
same in lecture 8.5.
Hmm.
Actually, the pseudocodes which are discussed there, if you could please explain them once.
Yeah, sure. Eight 8.5. Right? But are there slides? Slides, 8.5 slides.
Yes, ma'am, sites are there.
The slides are completely different. The pseudocode, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, it's a bit confusing. Therefore,
Yeah, just I'm opening the 8.5 slides. Okay, just I will explain you the slide. My screen is visible, right? 8.5 lecture slides are
yes,
visible
ma'am.
now.
Yes, ma'am.
So comparing two lists for duplicate items. So how do we do? If we wanted to compare two lists for duplicate item, that means the values of the elements in the list are same. If both the values or elements in the list are same, then we are just that element can be considered as duplicate element. Okay. So what we are doing here, the procedure find overlap of L1 comma L2 that will overlap is an empty list here. We are iterating through L1, L2. If x equal to y, then overlap equal to overlap plus y. X, any element we are adding to the overlap list and we are returning that overlap common elements list. Okay. Is it clear? That code, whatever written here, this code, overlap code,
Yes, ma'am.
just we
This
are
code is.
iterating. Yeah, that's simple code only, no? Okay. Comparing the two lists by using nested loop, we have seen this is by using the nested loop. And what if the lists are sorted? What if the lists are sorted? So if the lists are sorted, no need to just, yeah, you can do the above way also, but need not start the inner iteration from the beginning. It is not required to start the iteration from the beginning. What we can do is like use first and rest to cut down the list to be scanned. So we can use this first and rest and we can cut down our list to be scanned. Okay.
Hello. Excuse me, am I
Procedure.
audible? Hello.
Yeah, yes.
Ma'am, I believe that the solutions to your practice assignments as well as graded assignments since week 4 and week 2 have not yet been released. At least was released till yesterday. Can you release them? I mean,
It was released yesterday or it told it will be released.
no, it has not been released. I mean, it's not showing
Okay,
in
I will
my.
just now only I will inform. So you want it's not open for everyone. No? There are solutions are not given for practice assignments and graded assignment, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for graded assignment after week 2 there has been no movement, and for
Okay, I
PA
will tell. Yeah, I will tell. Yeah, just now I'm informing. If not, yeah, yeah, I'm informing now. Practice graded and practice assignment, grade assignment. No. Okay, I told. Yeah. So if the lists are sorted, it is like no need to do this kind of nested iteration. We can use this way also because that this will reduce the time, right? No need to iterate through each and every, like no need to do the nested iteration. Okay, if length of L2 equal to 0, if L2 has no element, then we can just return that the common element list as empty list. Okay, else y equal to else what we can do if our list is not empty, if the second list is not empty, what we can check first, y equal to first of L2 and L2 equal to rest of L2. Just first value of L2 we are taking and L2 equal to rest of L2. That means the remaining list. For
Uh,
each x in L1, yeah.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt, but can you please explain this using an example that is taking
Yeah,
two
sure. I
lists?
will explain using the example. Just I will just roughly go through the code and just show how the example works. Okay. For each x in L1, while y less than x, while y is less than x. Okay, the list is sorted. That's why if y is less than x and length of L2 greater than 0, then y equal to first of L2 and L2 equal to rest of L2. If okay, if x equal to y, I will show you with an example. Okay. The list is sorted here, right? The list is sorted and hmm, but yeah, but the thing you have to understand here is just we are dealing with the side effect, not with the code, no? We're just dealing with the side effect concept. So the thing you have to focus on in this code is not about how the code is working here. Just understand every time you see we are passing some L2. We are passing L2. The list L1 and L2 we are passing. So, but after this iteration, at the end of this iteration, L2 is always getting modified, right? L2 is becoming modified, like L2 equal to rest of L2. That means whatever we pass, that is not same, the list. Okay, the L2 is getting modified. Okay, finally, after this execution of the code, the L2 will be not same as whatever the L2 which we have passed. It has modified, right? So that is the side effect. Here every time L1 y equal to first of L2, L2 equal to rest of L2 we are doing. In the while loop also we are checking, comparing the value and first value we are taking y and L2 is getting updated every time. L2 is not the same L2 that we passed. So this is the second side effect. Second list has been modified inside the procedure, right? Second list is not the same list that we pass. It is getting updated every time. L2 equal to, suppose if it is initially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, after first iteration it will become 2, 3, 4, 5. After second iteration it will become 3, 4, 5, 5, something like that. Okay, it is not the same. So L2 is getting changed every time. Okay, the thing, this is not decide. Whatever we pass, we just want the output, the common element list. We don't want our L2, our L2 to be modified. Okay, that's the side effect. Just the code, how the code is working, you can just understand. Here we are just taking first value of y is the first value of our L2, and x will be iterating through the L1 every time. Y is always the elements. Y is nothing but y is getting updated every time. So first element in the first iteration, second element in the second iteration, third element in the third iteration. So it will happen like that for y. Y is nothing but the elements of L2. X is the elements of L1. You can see y less than x. So the value of y is less than x. That means both the list L1 and L2 are sorted, and the value of y is less than x and the length of L2 is greater than 0. That means both the elements are not same. Y and x are not same, right? Y equal to first of L2 and L2 equal to rest of L2. That means we are updating. We are just we are updating the value of y and L2. If both x and y are same, if both y and x are same, then we are just adding them to the overlap list. Okay. Just see this code, because this one, if you wanted to understand the code. So let us say, so just say L1 is something this. Sorted list. Understand this? This is sorted. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. L2, let us say this is 1, 3, 5. Okay, 1, 3, 5, 7. This is L2. Okay, what we are doing? Y equal to first of L2. Okay, L2 equal to rest of L2. That means 3, 4, 5, 7. L2 and y equal to 1. So for each x in L1 is happening in the for loop. So x value is 2, x is 2, and y is 1. What we wanted to check? While y less than x. So y value is less than x. Y value is less than 1 is less than 2, right? And length of L2 greater than 0. Yes, length of L2 greater than 0. Then what we are doing? Y equal to first of L2 and L2 equal to rest of L2, because the both values are not same. So this is not same. This is not same, and this is less than. So y equal to first of L2 we are doing. In the while loop we are doing. First of L2 means y equal to 3. Okay, the y value will become 3. So we will check whether 3 is less than x. 3 is less than x. X is 2, no? 3 is less than x. No, 3 is not less than x. We will come out of the while loop and just we'll see if x value equal to y. It's not equal to y. What is happening? Why we are doing this? If it is, we are comparing. Okay, now let us say if we have values like L1 values is like 4, 6, 8, and if like both lists, okay, here the values are 1, 2, 3, 4. What is happening in the while loop? So this is y. This is y in the first iteration. Y is 1 and x is 4. Okay, you know L1 and L2 are sorted. But in the first iteration, L1 is less than L2. First element of L1 is less than first element of L2. So we have to compare the second element of L2 with first element. So 2 is less than 4. Okay, this is also true. But they are both y and x are not same. And you know that L2, the value of the second element is less than the first element. So we will increment the value of L2. So 3 is less than 4. Yes, 3 is less than 4. This is also true. So we'll increment the value of next value. We'll go to the next value of L2. So that is 4. 4 is not less than 4. So we will go out of this while loop and compare if x equal to y. Whether 4 equal to 4. Okay. If it is, yes, it is true. and you will just add it to the overlap overlap list. Is it clear now how the code is working? This y less than x, because this comparison is happening because the list is sorted. Both the lists are sorted. If the L2 has smaller value than L1, then we need to check. We need to go for the second element of the in the L2 and we need to check. That's why. Okay. But the thing, what is happening here, whatever L2 we have passed, that is not same, right? After this completion of this procedure, the L2 will be like empty list. Okay, L2 will become empty. L2 length won't be like the list won't be like same as the list which we have passed. So this is the side effect. Okay, you understood?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the first example that we took, can you please open that once?
That is not example. The first example has no
No,
side effect.
actually, not this one code, ma'am. The example with which you were explaining, actually,
This one.
not this one, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Here. So basically, here there was a case when this y became greater than x. So since it was not less than x, we went to the next condition. We checked whether this y was equal to x. So if it was not equal to x, then then what
We'll
we'll
go to
do?
the next iteration. So what happens? Here, while this one y less than x, then if it is less than, if the condition is satisfied, then only we will update the value of y. We'll go to the next element of L2. We'll go to the next element of L2 if this condition is satisfied, if y less than x. If it is not satisfied, we'll come off this while loop and check whether if x equal to y. If it is x not equal to y, nothing. This statement overlap equal to overlap x plus x. We won't add it to the overlap list. Just but this
So
for loop
then,
will continue. No, this for loop. So L1 x value we'll go to the next iteration of the L1. So we'll take the next element. Here we'll go to the next element. 4. We'll go to the 4 and we'll see. Already y is updated to 3, no? We'll see whether whether 3 is less than 4. Yes, 3 is less than 4. And we'll update the value of y and L2. And then we'll just again we'll iterate. The condition is satisfied, so while loop will be executed again. Whether again, what is the next element here? 5. 5 is less than 4. No, right? So we'll go out of the while loop and we'll execute if x equal to y. No, x is not equal to y. We'll come out of this and just will increment. Now we'll go to the x value we'll go to the next value of x. What is the next value of x? 6. Okay.
yes, ma'am.
This is how the iteration happens.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, so
Yeah.
ma'am, the first procedure which we wrote, then the professor said that there is one side effect that we are comparing, means each set from the first element, means each iteration is starting from the first element and need not start inner iteration from the beginning. Means for the first iteration, we don't have to start it from the beginning to compare it with the second item, they said. And they said we are making a procedure to overcome this side effect. And they made this procedure. But this procedure also has some side effect that L2 at the rest is getting empty. Then what is the use of this procedure when it doesn't tackle the side effect but itself has some side effect?
So that's why this side effects we have to avoid while writing the code, okay? While writing the code, we have to avoid this kind of side effects. How can we avoid? That's what we are learning. Okay. This code has some side effects. This is not how we have to write our code. So the other way of writing it is like L2. For L2, we can make a copy of L2. Like we can store that in the temporary list and we can compare L1 and the temporary list. If both are same, then we can add it to the. So what is telling how to overcome this? Instead of iterating through L2, we can make a copy of the input parameter. We can make copy of that. So how to make copy? My L2 equal to L2. We are just copying the values of L2 to my L2. So L2 and my L2 are different. If I update the values of my L2, that L2 won't be changed. Okay, that's how. That's how the code, how to overcome just whatever the parameter we pass. If there is some kind of the side effect, what you can do, you can copy the parameters to a variable and then work on that variables. Okay, here my L2 is the new new list. In this procedure only we are using that. Okay, if we, for dictionaries, in the case of list, you have seen sometimes whatever the list we pass, we may update the list, the procedure. So that is not desirable. So this is the side effect. In order to overcome this, we have there is like we can make a copy of that list while copy of the parameters that are passed, and then work on that copies. Okay, that's all. That's how we can avoid the side effect. So what happens if we wanted to if there is a procedure delete key. Okay, if we wanted to delete key of a dictionary, so how to delete? Copy all keys and values except the one to be deleted to a new dictionary. So what you can do? Just you can create new empty dictionary and copy all the keys that you want except the key which is not required. So here what you are doing, for each key in keys of D, you are iterating through the keys of D and you are checking if the key which we wanted to delete is same as the key of our dictionary. If they are not same, then you are just adding the key value pair to the my dictionary, the dictionary which you have created. My dictionary of key equal to D of K, and simply returning that dictionary. Or simply you can update the D equal to my D. Okay. Understood this one? But thing is, the dictionary which you pass is not same as the dictionary. The dictionary which we got is not same as the dictionary which we which we got. So this is side effect, but this is desirable. No, we want to delete a key from a dictionary. This is the desirable here, but it has side effect. So in this case, side effect in the procedure is indented. So this there is side effect. The dictionary which we pass is not same as the dictionary which we get after calling this procedure. There is side effect, but it is indented. This is what we needed. But okay. Use side effects to update a collection inside a procedure, sorting a list in place. Use side effects to update a collection inside a procedure. If you wanted to update a collection inside a procedure, you have to use a side effect. Okay, if you wanted to sort a list in place, okay, you pass a list, but you wanted to the output of that should be sorted list. The list you whatever you pass, the list should be updated to sorted list. If you want that, then then you should do that kind of things in place. No need to make the copy of the variable of the list or of the dictionary. No need to make copy of that because that is desirable. Okay, we want to sort the list, whatever the list we get, we want to sort it. So at that time, no need to make copy of that existing list. Okay, it is not required. But what that is the desired output. We want to sort. We want to delete the key of the dictionary. So that is indented. So even though that is a side effect, even though but that is like our requirement, that is our intended intention. So at that time, you need to make separate copy. Okay.
Ma'am,
We can also program this without side effect, return the updated. That we can also program this without the side effect and return the updated. Yeah, yes, please.
ma'am, in previous where we were deleting a key, we reinitialize the new MOID dictionary to our original dictionary. That's why our original dictionary means got disturbed. That's why we said that it has side effects. But here we are returning that new dictionary. So
Hmm.
our original dictionary doesn't get disturbed. So we said that we overcome that side effect.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, sorry, but actually it's a bit confusing. We are initializing another variable so as to overcome side effect. Is it so? Actually, I'm just
See,
unable to understand the side effect thing.
so side effect means, so here what happened to L2? Here we are passing one L2, right? 1, 3, 4, 5, but L2 is getting updated every time. After executing this procedure, L2 won't be same as your L2 which we have passed. L2 is like, okay, you haven't understood this. Why? Because there is something called call by reference and call by value. Okay, call by reference and call by value. In the arguments, whenever you pass something, whenever you invoke a method by passing, if the procedure is defined, like if we take two arguments like int and float, then this is like call by value. Call by value. Okay. So whatever the value you are whatever the value you are passing here, that will be they will be made as copies. Okay, this is call by value. Call by reference means, so if for the list, in the case of list, what happens? What here they will be initialized to like both the okay. Let us say here the procedure do something. Let us say do something and do something. Do something. That procedure takes two int x comma int y. Okay, that will just add return a x plus y, that will just add that elements. Okay, and return. Okay, that's all this procedure. So while calling procedure, how you will call? Do something of some 10 comma 20 you pass, or do something of a comma b. Okay, a comma b, a is nothing but 10 and b is nothing but 20. That also you can do. A equal to 10, b equal to 20 you can do, and you say do something of a comma b you can tell, or you can tell do something of 10 comma 20. So what happens? X value will be initialized, will be set to 10 and y value will be set to 20. Okay, now what will be the values of a? A value is 10, b value is 20. Okay, now after okay, let us say inside this procedure I have updated x value to 20 and y value to 30. Okay, I have updated and just return x comma y I do. Okay, after executing this procedure, x value will be 20 and y value will be 30. Okay, a value will remain 10, b value will remain 20. Okay, no problem here, because only the value of whatever the arguments you are passing, those values will be copied to x and y. Okay, those value will be assigned to x and y. So if I pass like a b, if the values of a b are 20, 30, then x value will become 20, y value will become updated to value. So if I change the value of x, y, it won't be affected to a b. Okay, it won't be affected to a b because this is called by value. So whatever the value with which value you are calling, that value will be assigned to x and y, because they are something called just sing int float everything. These are primitives, right? These are just normal data types. Okay, but in the case of list, what happens is, for the case of list or for the case of dictionary, if I say do something, there is procedure called do something only, and it takes L1, L2 as arguments, and here later you are doing some operation of L1. L1 you are updating to incrementing the value of L1 by every element by +1 you are doing. Every element of L2 you are updating by +2 if you do. And while calling, you are passing some list L1 equal to 1, 2, 3 and L2 equal to some value 4, 5, 6. After executing this procedure, do something, your L1 and L2 will be updated to the new values, like L1 plus 1 will happen. So 2, 3, 4 it will happen, and L2 values will become 6, 7, not 7, 5 plus 2, 7, 6, yeah, 8. So it will be updated. Okay, this is because call by reference. Call by reference means there is something, this is somewhat complicated topic for you to understand. So L1, while in the case of computer, these collections will be stored in the memory locations, right? For L1, there is some memory, like here in the memory, 2, 3, 4 will be there. For L2 also in the memory, like 6, 7, 8. Okay, what happens here? Okay, let us say these are also like X list and Y list. So what happens in the case of call by reference? While calling the procedure by passing do something of L1 comma L2, I say with these values. Then here in the procedure, they are referred as X comma Y. So both X and Y will be referring to this memory location only. This memory location only. So if I update the values here, the values will be updated to L1 and L2. So this is not decided, no? Like L1 and L2 will be updated. If I do some updation in the procedure, L1 and L2 will be updated. Okay.
So this
This
is
is
what
not,
is this is what we are calling as a side effect. And to
this
avoid
is
this,
yeah, this is what we call as side effect, because we don't want this L1 and L2 to be changed. Okay. We want them to be same. if our intention is that if we don't want to change them, okay, then what we can do in the procedure, what we can make, we can assign this x and y, this values of x and y to some list, some other list, like ls1, ls2, ls1 equal to x, ls2 equal to y. So now you can work on this ls1 and ls2. Okay, ls1 and ls2 you can work on. And that won't create the side effect. That won't be a side effect because ls1 and ls2 are different from l1 and l2. But here x and x equal to l1 and x1 x are same. But if I say here, what happens? Now new memory will be created for ls1 and that will be assigned with the values whatever the x has. So x values are initially 1, 2, 3. Okay, that values it will be assigned. And the y values are ls2 equal to my value, what is 4, 5, 6. After updation, ls1 and ls2 will be changed. L1 and L2 will be same 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. But after this after this completion of this procedure, ls1 will be 2, 3, 4 and ls2 will be 6, 7, 8. But L1 and L2 will be same because we have made the copies of these arguments. That's why. For dictionary also same thing. Okay. If we have this is because this is happening because for the collections like list and dictionary, they are called by reference. So whenever you pass some value like L1, L2, so both of them will be passed to the same memory location. If you change one place, the other also will be affected. So in order to avoid that only, you can make the copies of the parameter and then work on that copies. Okay. Yeah, but in some cases, side effect is decided. We want the side effects like L1 equal to some list 2, 3, 2, 8. Okay, and then 1 and then 4 you have, but you want to sort this list. If the procedure L1 equal to sort of some L1 if you do, then at that time the side effect is decided because we want the sorting. We want to sort this list, whatever we pass. At that time, they need to make the copies. Okay, if you wanted to delete some the element of this particular list, at that time side effect is not defined. If you wanted to delete some key value pair in your dictionary. That is, if you wanted, if the code wanted to do that, if it is desired, then that won't be a side effect. Then that time you need to make the copies and you need to work on that copies. At that time you can proceed without making the copies. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, basically in the first code, while we were iterating through two different lists, there was a chance of while iterating through the second list, we might result in changing the order of the values that are there in the list. So, therefore, we designed the other pseudocode which will prevent that to happen. Yes, ma'am.
So while iteration, yeah, this first code does not have any side effect. This nested loop, no. Here we are not doing any updation. This one, we are not doing any updation here, right? L2 is same, L1 is same. We are not updating L2 equal to some value. We are not doing. But here, this has no side effect. This is because,
Okay.
yeah, this has no side effect. We are not updating the value of L2 and L1. L2 equal to something we are not doing. Okay, we're not updating. But the thing why we have gone through, this is okay. This code is everything fine. But this code will take time because we have to iterate. We have to compare each element in L1 with each element of L2. No shortcut here. Okay.
Okay,
But yeah,
understood.
this is bit the time required to execute this code will be bit less than that because yeah, while element is not matching, well, we have exited that, then we will simply exit the loop and we'll go to the next iterate. Yeah, next element. Okay, this is the other way of writing that. Okay. But here L2 is getting every time updated every time. No? L2 equal to rest of L2, L2 equal to rest of L2. So the list which we pass by to this code will not be same after executing this code. So that's why this is not decided.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, here we are disturbing the original argument which was passed. That's why we have side effect. But to overcome this, we actually copy the value of these parameters in another variable, and then we
Yeah.
deal with that temporary thing uh, to do some changes so that our original value don't get disturbed. Then we say that we have overcome the side effect.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, that's all. No, this module is about be careful of the side effects when working with the collection. Make a local copy of the argument. We have to make a local copy of the argument. Sometimes side effects are convenient for updating collections in place. Okay, deleting a key in a dictionary. If you want to delete a key in the dictionary, if you want that in place, side effects are convenient for updating the collection in place. And sorting a list, these are some kind of examples where side effects are desired here. Can also return new collection and reassign after the procedure call. Or else we can just do this way also. Like delete key of my d comma k, and you can assign it to the new dictionary. The other dictionary which you pass, that won't be same as the dictionary which you wanted. Yeah. So yeah, the thing is like side effects are there. So when the side effect is not desired, you can make the local copy of the argument and work on that local copy. If the side effects are desired, no need to make the local copy. You can do that in place. Like whatever argument you get, you can modify that argument and then you will get the desired output. Okay. Okay, that's all about 8.5. Yeah, any other
Ma'am,
doubts you have? Yeah.
ma'am, how does the side effect helps in sorting? It said that sometimes side effects are convenient for updating. In sorting, how does it
Sorting
help?
a list. If you have passed a list, okay, if you have passed a list, and if you wanted to sort that list, there are some kind of techniques like insertion sort. You have seen, no?
Yes, ma'am.
There you
Pass
are
the
making
empty list.
new empty list, and you are returning that new empty list. But there are other sorting techniques where you do the in place sorting. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you go to 8.5
8.5 only this
activity
one.
activity question 8.5 some doubts?
Yes,
Ma'am,
please.
how we should think the approach in this type of question, identify the procedure which creates a side effect. A little, I find it difficult sometimes.
Okay, finding max value in a list. Will that create side effect? No, right? We will just write it to the element of list, and that does not create any side effect. It depends on your code also. Whatever you write, if you write first of L1, if you write your code such that it does in that way, then it will create side effect in your list. Okay, if you just update your list every time in every iteration, if you update, then it will create side effect. Sorting the list in the ascending order, yeah, this all depends on the code you write, right? Deleting keys from the so everything, it depends on your code which creates a side effect or not. Okay, updating a list or dictionary. Yeah, if you update a list or dictionary, that is a side effect. Merging two dictionary D1 and D2 and storing it in D3. You are merging.
It will not have side effect, ma'am, because we are storing that in D3. We are not changing anything inside D1 and D2. That's why.
Hmm, hmm. Deleting keys from dictionary, it is a side effect.
Yes, ma'am. The initial code of deleting keys from dictionary has side effect.
Sorting the list in ascending order, it also side effect because the list which we pass will not be same as the list in the no, which we get because it is sorted. Finding the max value in a list, it won't create side effect. It depends on your code. depends on your code. Like if you just while iterating, if you say L1 equal to first of L1, L2, that kind of thing you do, then it will create side effect. But if you just iterate for each X in L1, if you do that way, then it won't be a side effect.
Okay, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, yes.
I have some doubt in week 7.
You have?
Week 7 activity 7.4 question number 4.
Yeah, any other, please, yeah, if you have any doubts, please ask, okay?
Question number 4, ma'am.
Which question?
Question number 4, ma'am. 4.
The above question, if the procedure count returns X dot field instead of flag for a customer X, the value obtained is give this returns X dot field. The above question procedure count returns X dot field instead of flag. Okay, for a customer X, the value of M obtained is 4. What is M? Count this one is 4. Okay. X dot field equal to 0. Flag equal to okay, the customer may have bought exactly 4 category. The customer may have bought at least to check the answers. Okay. Okay, if count of X dot field returns X dot field instead of flag means first row of the table A, count of X dot apparel equal to X dot apparel equal to 3 instead of 1, then M will be the sum of the number of items that is X. If it is what it is returning, if it is returning X dot FLD field instead of flag for a customer X, the value of M obtained is 4. So if it is 4, so what does that mean? If it is 4, then what that means, the customer may have bought from the exactly 4 categories, the customer may have bought from
One
exactly 2.
item from each 4 category.
See, 4 M equal to 4 is possible when a customer has bought only one category.
That
That
is
is
one of the
applicable.
option.
मैम मेरा डाउट ये है कि प्रोसीड्यूर एक्स डॉट
Sorry?
एक्स कॉम मैम मेरा डाउट ये है कि प्रोसीड्यूर काउंट एक्स फील्ड में जब हम फ्लैग रिटर्न कर रहे हैं तो
Yeah, your
या
voice
तो
is
वैल्यू 0 या 1
not.
आएगा.
I am unable to understand your question. Okay, if anyone understands, can you please tell me? Its voice is bit low for me.
एक्सक्यूज
भाई
मी मैम.
तुम्हारा क्या है, क्वेश्चन क्या है वो बोलो.
अगर प्रोसीड्यूर एक्स फील्ड में एक्स कॉमा फील्ड में फ्लैग रिटर्न करते हैं तो या तो वो वैल्यू 0 या 1 रिटर्न होगा, लेकिन अगर हम फ्लैग की जगह एक्स डॉट फील्ड रिटर्न करेंगे तो वो एक स्ट्रिंग टाइप वैल्यू आएगा. तो एक स्ट्रिंग
ये
टाइप वैल्यू में दूसरा स्ट्रिंग टाइप वैल्यू कैसे ऐड कर सकते हैं, जो कि एम में लिखा हुआ है कि एम इक्वल टू फर्स्ट का फील्ड फिर सेकंड ऐसे लिखा हुआ है ना. टॉयलेटरी ऐड कर रहे हैं, फिर और भी चीजें ऐड कर रहे हैं.
एक सेकंड भाई बोलने दो. ये एक्टिविटी, हाँ इसमें अब बोलो भाई. रिटर्न फ्लैग ठीक है, फ्लैग रिटर्न कर रहे हैं, 0 या 1 रिटर्न हो रहा है, और वो कैटेगरी के लिए रिटर्न कर रहे थे, लेकिन अब यहाँ आइटम के लिए रिटर्न करेंगे। तो तुम्हारे इसमें
तो
डाउट क्या है?
वो आइटम्स आएगा रिटर्न में, फॉर एग्जांपल टॉयलेटरी
हम्म।
आएगा, फूड
हाँ
आएगा।
हाँ ठीक है।
फिर स्टेप नंबर वो 3 या 4 में ये थी, एम का वैल्यू होगा लिखा हुआ, जहाँ पे हम टॉयलेटरी ऐड कर रहे हैं, फूड ऐड कर रहे हैं और वगैरह वगैरह ऐड कर रहे हैं। तो
हम्म।
एक फूड में दूसरे फूड कैसे ऐड कर सकते हैं? नंबर में तो नंबर ऐड कर सकते हैं, लेकिन
It's done.
स्ट्रिंग टाइप वैल्यू में दूसरा स्ट्रिंग टाइप वैल्यू कैसे ऐड कर सकते हैं?
देखो भाई, जब तुम एक्स डॉट आइटम को पास करोगे ना, ये प्रोसीजर में मतलब आर्ग्यूमेंट में, तुम अब जैसे अपैरल पास किए, तो ये तुम्हारा उसमें अब ये फ्लैग नहीं रिटर्न करेगा, वो आइटम रिटर्न करेगा कि तुम उस कैटेगरी से कितना आइटम परचेस किए हो। मतलब 1 आइटम, 2 आइटम, 3 आइटम, 4 आइटम। तो जैसे तुम अपैरल पास किए, तो उसमें से तुम कितना आइटम परचेस किए हो ये रिटर्न करेगा। तो क्वेश्चन हम लोग से क्या पूछ रहा है कि जब हम फ्लैग की जगह आइटम रिटर्न करेंगे, अब बता चुका है कि एम का वैल्यू 4 है, मतलब कि जब हम ये चारों को जोड़ रहे हैं, मतलब आइटम के काउंट को, मतलब अपैरल के आइटम के काउंट को, टॉयलेटरी आइटम, हाउस होल्ड, यूटिलिटी और फूड, तो चार, मतलब ये पांचों को जब जोड़ रहे हैं तो हम लोग का काउंट 4 ही आना चाहिए। तो हम लोग का केस क्या क्या बन सकता है? सबसे पहला केस जो हम लोग का बन सकता है कि द कस्ट बोला है, द कस्टमर मे हैव बॉट आइटम फ्रॉम एग्जैक्टली 4 आइटम कैटेगरी। सही बोला है, अगर हम 4 आइटम से एक एक आइटम खरीद लें तो मेरा भाई एम इज इक्वल टू 4 आ जाएगा। आ सकता है, मतलब पॉसिबिलिटी है आने का। दूसरा ऑप्शन बोल रहा है द कस्टमर मे हैव बॉट आइटम फ्रॉम एटलीस्ट 1 आइटम कैटेगरी। अगर तुम भाई अपैरल ही से 4 आइटम खरीद लो तो भी तुम्हारा 4 तो आ ही सकता है अभी भी। मतलब एक ही कैटेगरी से 4 आइटम खरीद लो तो भी 4 आ जाएगा। तीसरा ऑप्शन क्या बोलता है? द कस्टमर मे हैव बॉट आइटम फ्रॉम 2 आइटम कैटेगरी। अगर दो कैटेगरी से भाई दो दो आइटम खरीद ले तो भी तो 4 आ ही जाएगा हम लोग का। और लास्ट ऑप्शन कहता है द कस्टमर
समझ गया,
मे
समझ
हैव,
गया,
ठीक है ना?
समझ
अगर
समझ
ऑल
गया,
आइटम
थैंक
से
यू।
बाई कर लोगे तो भाई एक एक भी खरीदोगे तो भी 5 हो जाएगा, इसीलिए
ब्रो,
उसको नहीं कंसिडर
इसको
किए
कोड
हैं।
के थ्रू एक्सप्लेन करना, ऊपर जो कोड दिया है।
देखो, कोड के थ्रू एम इज इक्वल टू
सर
काउंट एक्स डॉट अपैरल पास किए, बस चेंज क्या है, हम लोग का अभी फ्लैग नहीं रिटर्न करेंगे। उसका जितना थी आइटम का काउंट आएगा, मतलब तुम अपैरल से जितना परचेस किए हो वहां पे, समझ रहे हो ना, उतना तुम्हारा
समझ
वो
गया, समझ गया।
समझ रहे हो?
सम,
फ्लैग 0 या 1 अब रिटर्न नहीं करेगा। प्रोसीजर प्रोसीजर क्या रिटर्न करेगा हम लोग का, कि तुम आइटम
एक्स
कितना
डॉट आइटम।
परचेस किए। ठीक है ना?
समझ गया, थैंक यू।
ठीक है भाई।
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम।
Yeah, it's done.
मैम आई हैव वन मोर डाउट इन 7.7 क्वेश्चन नंबर 3, एक्टिविटी
7
7.7
point.
क्वेश्चन नंबर 7,
Yeah, it's done for 7.3.
7.7 क्वेश्चन नंबर 3।
Yeah, this question I have discussed in the previous session also. Yeah, this should be for each y in keys. Here, keys of birthdays of x. What is birthdays of x? It's a value. If you wanted to iterate through that value, you have to use for each y in keys of birthdays of x. Right?
यस मैम।
That's why it's incorrect. And in line 4. You got it now? Or you have doubt?
नो डाउट मैम। मैम आई हैव वन मोर डाउट इन प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन नंबर 1।
Which one? Sorry.
क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन नंबर 1।
Practice assignment 7 only, no?
यस मैम।
Question number?
1
First question.
यस मैम, फर्स्ट।
Yeah, this also I have discussed. Can you
यस मैम।
just, yeah, what is your doubt? Which part you have doubt?
मैम in line 17 it is written that if d key is equal to a, key
Hmm.
is list of city or town. City or town cannot be equal to 0. एक in line 15 it is Written
If D
that
of
value
key,
of A is
so
equal to
the
0.
city town is matched to some physics value. Okay. D of key is D of some key. How can you access a value of a dictionary by using key? If I say D of Chennai, then it will give the values of Chennai key. So whatever the Chennai key is holding, like physics marks, no, it's like 101 or something, 100 or 90, that marks D of Chennai or D of Bangalore, that will be the physics marks. D of key means D of city town key, that will be some value like physics marks or mathematics marks, that value is
Ma'am,
equal to A, is equal to 0 or not, we are checking. First, what we are doing? We are finding maximum. No, if D of key greater than A, then A equal to D of k and B equal to key. So just we are A is nothing but D of key, A is nothing but marks, physics marks. B equal to key is nothing but city town, list, it is list. It is Chennai. If Chennai is having the highest physics marks, then we will be storing Chennai, and A will store that marks, highest marks. Let's say it has 100. If we have found in Mumbai also same, like if the physics marks are 100, then B will be updated to Chennai, comma Bangalore, that thing. Okay. D of key
got
is
it,
will be
ma'am.
the value.
Got it, ma'am. Thank.
Yeah.
Understood, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, question 2 of 8.4.
Question.
Question number 2, ma'am, of activity 8.4.
This one only, no?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it's basically saying that we're passing only one card at a time. So
Yeah, we are
therefore,
passing one. Yeah, you are passing only one card at a time. Yes, that's why you won't have any side effect.
so ma'am, if we would have passed a list or something, then
If you have passed table, if you have passed a table, then the table will get updated every time, no? Like while table one has more cards, read the table, move the card X from table one to table two. We are updating. The table will have side effect. Like the rows on the table one will be moved to table to another table. After executing the procedure, your table one will be empty and table two will have cards. So that will create, that is side effect. The table one which you pass is not same as the table one you get, right? That is side effect. But if you pass a card, then the card, nothing won't be changed in the card, and you're just accessing the values of fields of that card, and nothing won't be changed. So that's why it won't have any side effect.
okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Mm. Okay, any other doubts you have? Any other doubts? Anyone? Okay, should we solve? Yeah, week 8, this assignment, practice assignment questions, are they solved? Just I will see whether I have solved it or not.
Two
Yeah,
times
first
they have
question.
solved.
Yeah, they have solved. Then okay, should we go to week 9 questions then? Or
Uh,
something something
Ma'am,
from week
week
8 or
nine's
anything. If it's not clear, you can ask. Okay. Anything, week 8 or week 9.
actually, I have some doubts in notation. Like, for suppose if we have an empty list and I want to append one element into that, so it will be like we'll initialize are maybe if we have a dictionary, so empty dictionary will be it will be initiated using those curly braces, and then we'll append to show that we are appending. We'll use plus plus notation and then an element. So it will be enclosed within brackets, or it will be just as it is and
So,
without
sorry,
any.
what? Yeah, okay, I will write it for you, whatever you're telling. So you have empty list.
Yes, ma'am. Empty list or
And
maybe an empty dictionary, and I want to append an element to it. So the notation for that.
so you wanted, this is list. If you wanted to append an element to this empty list, you can say L1 equal to L1 plus plus 2. Then what will happen? L1 will have 2. Okay. If I say there is another list L2, L2 will be some values like 2, 3, 4 if it has 2, 3, 4. Okay. If I wanted to append this to L1, like, okay, if you wanted to add list in a list, what you wanted to do, L1 equal to L1 plus plus 2, this curly bracket, list in a list you have to give. Then L1 will become element 2. Okay, list of 2. In a list, you have list. If you say just only single, if you use single square bracket, then you will get L1 as a list with 2 as its element. Later, yeah, if you wanted L1 equal to L1 plus plus like something 4, 5, 6, if you say, then it will be L1 will have 2 comma 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, but if you say L1 equal to this L1 equal to this L1 here L1. Okay, this 2, 3, 4 you understood, no? For this L1,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. Just if you use one square bracket, no, then the element will be appended to the next element. You have to use square bracket only if you wanted to append an element to a list. If you use double square brackets, if you use L1 plus plus some list here, like 2, 3, 4, then what happens to your L1? L1 will have 2, 4, 5, 6, and then you will have list of 2, 3, 4. Okay, for L1. This will happen. If there is some list, L2 equal to some value like 10, 11, 12, then what happens if I say L1 equal to L1 plus plus L2, if I simply say that, then L1 will become 2, 4, 5, 6, comma this 2, 3, 4, and this elements 2, 3, 4, comma you have 10, 11, 12 as simple elements in your list because you are telling L1 plus plus L2. So what is L2? L2 will is 10, 11, 12. So that will be appended. They won't be in the curly in this normal in this brackets. Okay, they are just element like there's this. They won't be in the list. Okay. If you wanted to append them as a list, if you wanted in this manner, then you have to say L1 equal to L1 plus plus. In the list, you have to give L2. If you give that, then the values will be appended as the list. They will be the 10, 11, 12 in a list. That elements will be there, and 2, 3, 4 you will have in a list, and then 2, 4, 5, 6 something like that. Okay, you understand? If you use double brackets, then it will become list in a list. If you use only one bracket, then the elements will be appended to a list. This element, whatever the element, that will be appended to the list. If you use two brackets, then list will be appended to a list. Okay. If
Okay.
L2 is already, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, in case of dictionary, if I want to append an element to a dictionary, then
In the case of dictionary, if you wanted to append elements, you cannot append elements. So you will say D of key equal to value. This is how you
Where we
can
can
add
create
key
a
value
key,
pairs
new
in a
key.
dictionary. Okay, D of key equal to value. So in the dictionary, you will get key and then you will get value. Okay, that's all. If you wanted to add a dictionary in a dictionary, you can say D of key 1. Okay, something like D of Chennai. For Chennai, if there is some key called total equal to some 100, something like that. Then what happens? There are two keys. Like you are referring to, then your dictionary will look like this. Chennai will be key, and in the Chennai is mapped to another dictionary. In that you have total as a key, and for the total it is mapped to 100. So how to access key value pairs in a dictionary? By using keys. So you are telling D of Chennai. D of Chennai will give this dictionary. This dictionary. In the dictionary you are accessing total key. So total key will give the 100. So this is how, in order to add the element also, you can do D of Chennai of total equal to 100, or you can say D of some Bangalore equal to some dictionary. You can map it to some dictionary like total, and you can give its value like 0, something like that. Okay, you can do in this way also. So now
Yeah.
what you will get, Bangalore will be key. In the Bangalore you have Bangalore is mapped to another dictionary that has total will be mapped to 0. Okay, that's how your dictionary will look. You can do in the two ways. D of Chennai of total equal to 100, you can say that means Chennai is key. In the Chennai is mapped to another dictionary that has total as its key, and that value is mapped to 100. Or you can say D of Chennai equal to this way. D of Bangalore equal to that is set to some empty dictionary, total of 0. That way also you can do for the dictionary. Okay. If you say D of Chennai equal to 100, then Chennai will be key and the value will be 100. Okay. If you say D of Bangalore equal to some 20, then Bangalore will be key and the 20 will be its value. If you say D of Bangalore of count or D of Bangalore of total, then there will be Bangalore as the outer key, and for the Bangalore it is mapped to another dictionary. In the dictionary you will have total and count as its keys. Okay,
Ma'am,
that's how.
possible to store keys in the form of lists in a dictionary?
No keys, no list, you won't have keys.
Means, for suppose, can I have a dictionary like this? That dictionary is equal to uh, I have a separate list for maybe 246, then comma, again a separate list for 359. Like this, is it possible to store values?
See that
Which
that
have
kind of list, yeah, that kind of list never used. Okay, that kind of list never used. We will just map it to key. Key is nothing but like something like int, float, or string, or some boolean value, true or false. But mapping to a list, we have not used in our code, but might be possible. I'm not sure of that. Okay, but in this course itself, in the practical scenarios also, that won't be much useful. Okay, mapping a dictionary by having a list as a key, that won't be much useful. Okay. Yeah, rarely. I think it is possible. It might be possible, but generally we won't do that. Okay.
okay, ma'am. So that uh, means we don't have a pseudocode for such a procedure that it
Yeah.
has. Okay.
In the example, you took D Chennai total. So basically, we take the value with reference to whether the dictionary is outer or inner, right?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
I was saying that in the example you took, we take
No,
the
for
value
voice.
here in the
Uh,
example D Chennai and total. So we take the
no,
value with reference to whether the dictionary is outer or inner, whether it is inner dictionary or outer dictionary. Like with reference to the D dictionary, we will take the key Chennai and the value total 100. But with reference to the Chennai dictionary, because here it is nested, it is inner dictionary of the outer dictionary D. So it will take the key total and its value 100. Am I
your
right?
voice is bit low. Am I the only one not hearing him properly?
I'm
Hello.
little low, but we can hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now is it audible?
Yeah. Can anyone tell the doubt of him what he has asked?
Ma'am, he is asking that there are two keys. So means he is asking whether the value is corresponding we take to inner or the outer dictionary.
We'll take outer dictionary. If you have, okay, you are asking about if there is some dictionary, some same dictionary, Chennai. This is mapped to some other dictionary, total 100 and count equal to 10. If you say, so in order, if you access D of Chennai, then you will get Chennai. You are trying to get the value of Chennai. The output will be the value of Chennai. What is the value of Chennai? This entire dictionary. Total 100, count, and 10. So this will be the output. If you say D of Chennai and count, then that means D of Chennai is a dictionary. In the dictionary, you are accessing the count value. So the output at that time it will be 10. Okay, this is how you access the inner elements of your dictionary. In order to access the outer elements, you just use the outer key. Okay, if you iterate also, if you iterate to the dictionary, if you iterate to this dictionary D, if I iterate for each key in keys of D, if I say, that means I am iterating through this only, through Chennai, Bangalore, the other city towns only. In order to iterate through the inner dictionary, you have to say for each keys in keys of, for each key to in keys of D of key. That means for the Chennai key or Bangalore key, I am getting the keys of that. So this is how you iterate to the inner dictionary. Is this the question you have asked or any other doubt?
No, ma'am, it's clear now.
Okay.
Ma'am, one more thing I have to ask. So, regarding the side effects,
Hmm.
so, ma'am, how do we face or how do we encounter the side effect in nested kind of dictionary? So, if we are having a dictionary inside the outer dictionary, so how can we face and how can we see the side effects in that way?
So when side effect will happen? If you pass a dictionary, you are passing a dictionary, but for the output, but the dictionary which you pass is not same as the dictionary which you get. Okay. Then at the time some value here, something, if some other key has average also added through your inner dictionary, then if this is not desired, then it will be side effect, no? Or if you delete some key of the dictionary, if you delete all the Chennai key, then if that will become side effect. If you delete some keys, or if you delete something, your total value, if you remove something like that, if you
Well,
remove
let's
some
say if
keys,
yeah, ma'am. But let's say we are deleting the key from inner dictionary, not outer dictionary. So in that way,
so if you
the
delete,
our if I am deleting a key of inner dictionary, like key of Chennai, right?
hmm,
So in that way, we are not disturbing the we are not disturbing the outer dictionary, no.
yeah,
So
but we are
how?
disturbing the dictionary, no? That is side effect. Okay, the side effect, sometimes they are desired. See, whatever the programmer only, like, the programmer should know what he want. Okay, whether he want the side effect or not, the programmer should decide. That is in the programmer, like, programmer has to decide whether something should happen, whatever he just want that side effect or not. If he wanted, he can just proceed without creating the copy. Okay, if you disturb the outer dictionary, or if you are not disturbing, but if you still disturb the inner dictionary, that also a side effect. The dictionary, whatever you pass, that won't be the same as your dictionary you get after the procedure.
Yeah, ma'am, it's clear.
Excuse me, ma'am. Actually, I have last out in pseudocode, which is given in a graded assignment, week 7, question number 7.
Okay, what's the doubt? Which
Ma'am, and
question?
question
Last
number
question.
yes, ma'am. Question 7. Uh, yes, ma'am. Here, ma'am, in this sum list, which is equal to sum list plus W, what effect will it make if I put braces, square braces around this W?
Then it will create dictionary list in a list. List of alphabets, or it will become list of list. If you just say W, W itself is a list, right? Explode of thinking, it will give a list. Just if you append list, sum list plus sum. Okay, what is happening here? Just let me close and open it again. Okay, sum list equal to sum list plus W. You want the side effect or not? Whether it is side effect. What is W? W of thinking or some any word thin. It will give list of H, comma I, comma N. So if your sum list is initially empty, so empty plus you are adding THIN. You are appending that. So what your sum list will become THIN. So it will become that. So you will get list. If you just include here sum list equal to sum list plus W. Sum list equal to that one you did know. Now if you say sum list equal to sum list plus in the bracket if you include W, so what will happen? If your sum list is initially empty and you are appending W list, like first there are brackets, in the brackets you are giving W. So what is W? W is THIN thing. So what your list will become? Your list will become now THIN. So it is list of list. Okay. Now previously if you simply say W, it is simply a list because W itself is a list. You are just appending a list. But if you include W is a list, in the list you are giving angular brackets, no? So it will become list of list. So list plus list of list, it will give the list of list. Okay, you understood
We
that?
are, yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, like for each and every word that we are coming across, we are performing this particular procedure of sum list. So, here basically, what are we doing? We are firstly finding out the value for W, and it's actually a list. So, we'll append that list to this another list, which is sum list.
Yeah.
And yes, ma'am. So, for suppose if I the second word that I come across is was, so it will
Mm.
explode into W, comma A, comma S.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
now when this is appended to sum list, now the sum list will become as T, comma H, comma I, comma N, comma W, comma A, comma S.
Yes.
But if I would have put a bracket around this W, it would have been, the sum list would have been uh, T, comma H, comma I, comma N in square braces, comma W, comma A, comma S in square braces again. Is this
Yes.
what? Okay.
Yeah. That is
Okay.
correct.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other things? Any other doubts? Any other doubts?
I don't.
Any doubts? Yes or no?
No doubts, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So should we go to week 9 or week 8, just week 7 or week 8 should we work on? Anything from the practice assignment you want to solve from week 7, week 8, or should we go to how many of you know understood about the graph?
Which graph, ma'am?
Graphs. How many of you understood like about the graphs?
Ma'am, what graph?
Week 9 you have graphs, no? A graph concept, how the graph is getting created. What is graph actually? How we have created a graph?
I'm not gone through week 9 content.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Okay, just I will, yeah, if your doubts of week 8, everything is clear about dictionaries and yeah, dictionaries, everything clear about the dictionaries for everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Then week 9 is graph. So graph is nothing but why you are using graph? We have this thing like dictionary list, but why we are going for graph? What is the use of graph? Anyone? Just like where you use graphs actually. Sometimes it is difficult to store our data in kind of dictionary or in list sometimes. So for example, if you want if the phone numbers in the phone numbers, if you for phone numbers you have a person and the corresponding phone number of him, so it is difficult to store that kind of information in list. Yeah, you can store in list in a list, but for the iteration kind of thing, that is bit tedious compared to dictionary. Yeah, dictionary will allow us the random access. If you know person name, you can just go and get the phone number. But in the case of this, you have to iterate each and every element. And then if that is the individual, then you can get the value. So yeah, based on our requirement, you can choose whether dictionary or list. Okay. And graph for the graph, when we should go for the graph. So let us take the social media, something like Facebook. There, if you wanted to find some, if you wanted to find a friend, and if you wanted to find the friends of him, if you wanted to store all the things in the data structure, then it is difficult, no? For some other, for the things like electrical system, for the other things like social networking, it is difficult to store our data in the case in like list or dictionaries. So there you can go for the graphs. At that time you can use the graphs data structure. Yeah, for the road transport system, everything that is difficult to represent in the case of list or in the dictionary. So in the case of graph, it will be a bit easy, right? The representation, it will be easy. If you store our data, it will be easy to represent in the case of graphs. So that's why you will use a graph data structure. So graph is nothing but a dictionary in a dictionary. Okay. Uh, there are there are something called nodes and edges in the graph. Nodes are also called as vertices. So graph, how a graph will look like? So let us take some transport system. So you have something like NH1, NH2, NH3, something like this. And there is path from NH1 to NH2 that is connected. And from it is connected to some other things also, NH4, something like that. So you can show this like this in this way. In this way you can show. Okay, like this. But in the case, if you use some dictionary, how you will show that? It is difficult, no? For the phone number case, you can show there is key and there is corresponding value, student and its marks. Okay, you can use dictionary there. But in the case of this kind of complex data, it is difficult to show, right? So that's why this is called graph data structure. So in the graph, these are called nodes or vertices. These are called these are called nodes or vertices. Okay, these are called edges. This is how this node and this node are connected by edge. Okay, these are nodes and vertices. Okay, basically, if if there is edge from this node to this node, then you say NH1 and NH3 are connected. There is edge between NH1 and NH2, so NH1 and NH2 are connected. And there is, see here, from each node to the, let's check, is there a node? Is there a edge from each node to each and every other node? Just see. There is edge from each node to each and other node. Okay, there is something called directed and undirected. This is directed. Like you are representing by bracket. If you use this arrow mark, then it is directed graph. If you just draw undirected graph, that means without this arrows, then it will become undirected. And something called weighted unweighted graph also. Weighted unweighted graph means, okay, this is undirected, this is directed. There is arrow mark. You are directly telling NH3 to NH4, NH3 to NH4. This is connected by edge. So this is directed graph. And this is undirected, and there is weights also. You can add weight. So 100 kilometers, 1000 kilometers, something like that. You can give the any values to this edge. So that is the weighted unweighted graph. Okay. And how to create this? How to create the graph? Here, graphs are actually represented as matrices. In matrices, basically. How to create this matrix? So for the matrix, there are rows and columns, right? Rows and columns you have. Okay. Basically, you will create, in the case, in order to create this matrix, what you will do? You will use dictionary in a dictionary. Okay. So rows will be represented here, and in the dictionary will have the columns corresponding to this. So columns will also start from 0, 1, 2, 3. Let us say you are creating something called 3 by 3. That is 2 by 2. 2 by 2 matrix you want to create with all values 1. This is 2 by 2 matrix. That is 2 rows it has and 2 columns. 2 by 2 matrix. So the elements, the indices of the matrix also, it starts from 0, 1. So this is 0th row, this is first row. This is 0th column, this is first column. So in order to create that, what you will do? You will say m equal to 0. Okay, 0th row. Okay. And for the 0th column, you have value 1. And for the first column, the value is also 1. Okay. For the first row, first row has 2 columns, 0, and the value is 1. And and then it has first column, the value is also 1. This is 2 by 2 matrix with all values as 1. If you want 2 by 2 matrix, something like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 0th row, first row, and 0th column, first column. So what will our matrix will look like? 0. And in the 0, you have 0 column. 0 column, for the 0 column value is 1. And for the first column, the value is 2. And then you have first row. And then in the first row, there are 0th column. The 0th column value is 3. And the and the first column value is 4. Okay, how to access this? If I say m of 0, then the 0th row, if I try to access, then it will give the dictionary 0, 1, 1, 2. So this is how you create a matrix. If I say matrix, then how it will look? Okay, this is matrix. This has 2 by 2 matrix, and these are columns, these are rows, and these are columns. This is how you create using the dictionary. This is how you create. You can create n by n dictionary in this way, or in this way only. In order to create n by n dictionary, yeah, you can do. You can writing is tedious. No, instead of writing, you can use something called for loop. You can use for loop. No, for each, you can just create matrix m equal to create matrix of n by n. There is procedure that will be explained in the lectures. Create matrix of n by n. So create matrix will procedure. This procedure basically will create n by n matrix with all values as 0 initially. With all values 0 initially. If you say m of ij, if you say m of ij equal to 1, that means ith row and the jth column, the value will be made to 1. So let us say m of 2, 3 equal to 1 if I say, then the second row, third column value will be made as 1. So if let us say this is first 0, 1, 2. So second row, this one, basically this one, and third column value 1, 2, 3. Here, third column value will be made as 1. So this is how you update the values of this matrix. Okay, in order to create, you will just iterate. You will just what use for loop. Yeah, that will be explained in the lectures. I will show to the sets if you want. Okay. Yeah, this is because no one has watched the lectures. List keeps a sequence of values, no random access. So for the list, you cannot do the random access. For value at position I, start at the beginning and scan to I minus 1, then only you will get. Not to iterate through a list, you have to iterate. No random access possible. Like you have to iterate through the list. But in the case of dictionary, it stores key value pairs. So you can just say D of Chennai or D of Bangalore or D of anything. So you will get the value of that particular key in order to iterate from beginning to the end. Okay. But in the case of list, you have to iterate if you wanted to see the elements. Often we need a matrix two-dimensional table. It is nothing but a two-dimensional table that has m rows and n columns that allows us random access. So m of ij, I can say, by convention, rows and columns are numbered from 0. They are numbered from 0. Okay. So in order to create a matrix, what you will do? You will just use an extra dictionary. I have shown you. This is the procedure that creates the matrix. Procedure create matrix of rows, comma, n columns. So the rows, comma, columns is nothing but the number of rows and the number of columns. So you will initialize mat equal to some empty dictionary initially and I equal to 0. So you are iterating while I less than rows, mat of I equal to empty dictionary. So rows and columns you have now, I have shown you previously. For each row, there is a dictionary, and the dictionary is nothing but your columns, and those columns will be mapped to some values. Okay. So for each row, m of matter of I, you are checking whether I is less than rows, and you are for that row, you are making it as empty dictionary. You are assigning that row to an empty dictionary. And j equal to 0, you are doing that is for the iteration to the columns. For iterating to the columns. If the j value is less than columns, then mat of ij will be 0 and j equal to 0. Yeah, I think this is explained in the lectures also by sir very well. Okay. Just you are creating an extra dictionary with all values are 0 initially. And the extra dictionary is nothing but rows and columns. Rows are the outer dictionary keys and the columns will be the inner dictionary keys. Okay. And length, rows here, rows and columns will represent the length of rows and length of columns. Just understand this. Okay. If you, every time this is not you, this procedure is not written. This is explicitly like assume like create matrix will create like 30 by 40, 30 by 45 matrix with all the rows and columns. And if all the values of that matrix are made to 0. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes, please.
what will be the syllabus of end term exam?
Syllabus of end term.
Yeah, end term exam.
Yeah, it will be from week 1 to week 12.
Okay. So we have only 20 days for completing 4 weeks.
Syllabus, you have only 20 days for?
Like on 1st December, we have quiz 2. And 21st December, there is our end term exam. So we have only,
1st December is quiz 2.
yeah.
And yeah, 21st, yeah.
Okay, ma'am, continue.
Ma'am, can you listen to me? Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, any doubts?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, Shiva, your voice is bit low.
Ma'am, so you were teaching us graph and suddenly you changed yourself to matrix. What is the difference between graph and matrix?
So graph is for visual representation. There is nothing like graph is like if you, yeah, it is for us visual thing only. Yeah, in order to, this is like the graph, we store that graph thing in dictionary only, in the matrix form only. So how this looks like if you, yeah, if I say, if I wanted to say this node and this node to be connected, if I wanted to say this node and this to be connected, then in the matrix you can show as 1, or the whatever the value you wanted, you can update the value of your matrix to 1 or whatever value, like physics mark or some total mark, something in the case of our data set. So basically the graph is for visual, but in the code you will see just matrices only. Okay, that is just for visual thing only. In order to implement the graph in our code, we do that by using a Nextr dictionary. We create a matrix. By using the Nextr dictionary, we create a matrix and see the thing. Okay, you, if you wanted to model some graph, something like this, something like what? If you just close this. If you wanted to model something like, okay, you have student, student, student S1, student S2, these as nodes, and these two students are connected. If one student has scored above in physics and the other student, yeah, if one student physics marks is greater than other student physics marks is, if the difference in physics marks is between 10, okay, if you wanted to show such system, it as the students to be connected if they have difference in physics marks as 10, and if you wanted to do this by the directed graph, how to do in the case of matrix, I will show you. This graph is for visual thing only. Generally, in order to do the graph, we do that by using the matrix only. If I represent this as graph, then for S1, S2, S3, S4, there are how many nodes in your graph? Four, four, four nodes. Four nodes. So you have to create how many, like 3 by 3 matrix we will create. So this 3 by 3 matrix will have That means 0th row, first row, second row, third row. So this is nothing but 4 by 4 matrix. Sorry, while using we will say 4 by 4 matrix, but for accessing you will access from 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 0 is for S1, S2, 1 is for S2, 3, S3, S4, and this is for S1, S2, S3, S4. Okay. So S1 to S1 there is edge, no? S1 to S1 there is edge. So S1 to S1 there is edge. So I will write it as 1 here. And S2 to S4 there is edge. So S2 to S4 there is edge. I will write it as 1 here. Okay. S4 to S3 there is edge. I will write as 1 here. And S1 to S3 there is edge. So S1 to S3 there is edge. Okay, this is how you show. Remaining all the elements you make it as 0. So if there is no edge means they are not connected. Okay, this is how you generally do that. Okay, if there are no, in order to show the connection, like you can say that particular elements, that particular row, you have to make one from S1 to S2. Yeah. If I say that, then those are connected. That students are connected. If it is not directed graph, I can just, if it is not directed graph, if it is not, there are no this arrows at that time, what we can do, like S1 and S2 are connected, no? So for all S1, S2 is connected.
Ma'am?
Yeah, yes.
Ma'am,
So yeah, if there are no arrows, then you will make here also one.
ma'am, you also
S2
talked
and
about that if you want to put some weight.
Here instead of 1, you can write physics marks like 5, difference in physics marks. Like S1 minus S2 difference is, let us say 5, then you can write 5 here. And S2 minus S1 will become minus 5, right? That value. If you, yeah, you can say S1 minus S3 10. So you can give values. The values difference in the physics marks or some value that is weighted graph. You can put that. You can represent the arrows also, right? If it is directed, if there is edge from S1 and S2, that means for S1 and S2, you can show it as 1. And S2, S1, you will show it as 0. That means from S2, S1 does not connect. So, but if that is undirected graph, you will write it as, like, if it is undirected graph, then no arrow here, no arrow. Then for S1, S2 it is connected, S2 is connected to S1 also. So here also you will make it as 1. Okay, S2, S1 you will make 1 and S1, S2 also wherever that is there, you will make it as 1. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Just understand this is dictionary only, but yeah, sometimes it is confusing also. Sometimes it will be confusing also. Yeah, because you have not dealt to this extent. No? Yeah, dictionary itself might be tough for some people, but graphs will be bit tough than dictionaries. Yeah, any other doubts? Yeah, because I'm not explaining because you have not watched lectures. No, yeah. If you have watched a lecture, then that would be easy. Just see the example. Procedure, read physics marks, what we are doing here. Okay. Any doubts?
No, ma'am, no doubts.
Okay, I will stay till late. If you have any doubts, you can ask. If not, just listen. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if no one has doubts, we can just close the session. End the session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks all. Let's just go to the week 9 content, okay?
Thank you,
Hey,
ma'am.
yeah, thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, solutions and everything are released. Please check. Someone has asked, no, beach. Yeah, practice assignment solutions are released and graded assignments also.